Thank you, Tony. Take it away.
I wanted to talk about a topic that's becoming very important to me. That's OAuth. I'm building out, part of the job I'm doing right now is building out APIs for others to use my company's applications. And so we need a way to secure that. What is OAuth? OAuth is a mechanism whereby you can grant a third party limited access to a resource that you want to offer using a temporary but revocable key. And those are all very important things. I have my Facebook account set up. I might want to share just a little bit of my Facebook with somebody else. And so I want it to be somewhat limited if I'm sharing Facebook or Twitter or whatever. I may not want it to be permanent. In fact, giving a permanent key out is generally not a really good idea. So I want it to be temporary, and I also want it to be revocable, because I may choose at some point that I no longer want to give that third party access to my resource. Talk a little bit about our history. Before OAuth was invented, there was sort of a mishmash of standards, and every different application had a little bit different approach to how they did this third-party authorization. And a lot of the times they simply said, give me your password. Okay, well that of course has a few drawbacks. It's not limited. You give your password out and that person can sign on as you, do anything they want. You change your password, you got to tell everybody that you gave your password, you got to give them a new password. That's not so good. And if I want to take my access back from you, I have to change my password and only tell everybody but you what my new password is. So that one didn't work so well. And different companies came up with several different approaches. And then, I believe it was about 2007, they came out with one of the first attempts at standardization, and that was OAuth version 1. OAuth version 1 used cryptographic signatures. We want to make sure that you sign your authorization request so that we can grant you access. And this was in the day. And the problem with that, of course, is that it's very complicated to do. And cryptographic signatures are not well understood, and they're a little bit complex to implement, and people just didn't like doing that. There's also, the internet provides a thing called HTTPS, or we tend to call it SSL or TLS. These are protocols for sending information over a channel that keeps it private. And so they came up with a standard called OAuth 2 that's going to use, we're going to do everything over this encrypted channel that's a little bit safer. So how does it work? Well, we've all probably been to a hotel and seen one of these kind of things on our door. We go to the front desk, we get our key card, and that's what we use to get in. That's sort of what OAuth is. OAuth is a way for me to make a reservation. I make a request. I then go to the front desk when I go to check in, and I get a key card from them. That's my OAuth token. I take that, go to my room, or whatever room rooms I have, I plug it into the door. The door opens, and I can use the room. That's how OAuth essentially works. A lot of times, if you've read articles about OAuth and seen it referred to as a valet key, Well, I kind of like this illustration a little bit better. One of the things with all these new fancy key cards that the hotel can do is they can revoke my access. So I go back, stick the key card in the door, and it stops working. Well, they didn't like me partying so much last night. So they've revoked my access. I can also call the front desk and have my access extended. Or if I've overstayed my welcome, my key card can expire so that the next day when I go back, if I walk into the hotel the next day, somebody else has rented that room, I go to use that key card, I cannot get into the room. And that's basically how OAuth works. OAuth does have several flows that it implements, but more or less these are the basic concepts of OAuth. And in a future session, I could explain a little bit more about the specific flows and how we want to work that, how we might be able to use that. But this is the basic concept of OAuth. Thank you.